You wanna jump with the big one, Charlie Kirk or not?
I guess, yeah, we could do it.
Charlie Kirk. Oh my God. Okay. So this is a serious topic. You know, if we crack any jokes or laugh or anything like that, it means nothing personal. But we're gonna be talking about the Charlie Kirk assassination. It has to be talked about. It has to.
Shit was crazy.
You
see it on Twitter?
I saw the clip, and it traumatized me.
Yeah.
To say the least, it traumatized me because you saw the blood.
Yeah, I saw the blood. Yeah.
Coming out of him. It was. I don't know, cause look, at first, I obviously felt bad. You know, I was like, no one deserves to die like that. It's crazy. No one deserves death like that.
Yeah.
But recently, I started seeing all the shit he's actually been hated for.
Yeah. Okay.
Like apparently, he called immigrants aliens.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, but that's what they call it in the political world. That's like
that's the proper. I would say the proper word, I guess.
Yeah, because apparently even in job applications or whatever, like where you fill it out, it says, "Are you American?" Da da da.
It's like alien. The lingo, basically.
Yeah, that's just how they say it. So, I never knew about that. That's super weird.
Yeah, it was been like that for like a while. Like they call people that come to the country illegally, call them aliens. Aliens.
They call them aliens. That's weird. That is weird. But I mean, I guess that's how they reference immigrants. I guess. What are your thoughts on the whole situation? Charlie Kirk getting assassinated.
I thought it was a crazy situation. Seeing him getting, I guess, some people like to call it getting executed like that, but it's just crazy. I mean, I don't think nobody should get killed just for their political views. I think it's kind of barbaric. We're kind of past those times. We don't do that no more. We shouldn't do that no more, at least. Mm-hmm. We had some big assassinations back in the 60s. MLK, RFK, JFK, stuff like that.
Yeah.
But to be doing that in the Bay 2025, I think, especially in America, I don't think there should be a place for that. Yeah, I don't think we should be doing that.
For sure, exactly what you said.
Even though you said some things that you don't agree with, doesn't mean you should kill them. You know what I mean?
Yeah, it really shows these people's true colors and their intention. That's why, because at first I told myself, why are people so sensitive about getting into political stuff? Mm-hmm. But it's because of that, because of how serious people take it. And when I saw that he got assassinated, I the first thing I thought was okay, who pissed him off? Who did he piss off this time?
Yeah, I see what you mean. Because
it's clear, he had it coming. In the most respectful way, because he said a lot of controversial things, and the moment he got assassinated, he was talking about transgender shootings.
Oh yeah, he's talking about gun violence.
Yeah. I think he said they were oh, do you know how many transgender shootings there are? And he's enough.
Too many.
Enough.
He said too many.
Yeah. Something like that, and boom, right then and there.
Now then after he was asked, they asked him five's a lot. He do you know how many? The guy asked the other guy who's interviewing, I guess, because they were debating.
No.
The other guy said, "Oh, do you know how many shootings there are in the United States?" And he said, "Counting or not counting gang violence?" And then boom, he got killed.
Dang.
So his last words were gang violence, which is kind of ironic.
That's crazy.
It's just kind of an ironic way to die. Your last few moments, you're talking about gun violence,
dude,
and you just get shot. You get sniped.
Super ironic.
And that's just ironic. You know what I mean?
But
again, some people were saying that he died in the world he wanted. He was pro gun. So he basically died in the world he wanted. And he also said this. He said, he believed that few deaths from gun violence was a sacrifice to have guns. So he's it's a sacrifice. Some people might have to die, to have gun violence. Well, not might have to die, but some people might die. It's a sacrifice we need to have in order for us to have gun violence around that lines. You can search it up if you want, but
for sure, yeah, I heard a lot of people saying he died in what he believed in.
Mm-hmm, yeah,
standing by what he believed in. Mm-hmm. So I feel like if he had a reaction to his own death, I don't think he'd be surprised. I don't think he'd be mad. Yeah. I think he'd be this to prove my point. This proves my point.
He advocated for the rights of his killer.
I just saw a clip of his killer getting down from the roof and everything.
Yeah, he was running off the roof.
Yeah, they got him. Apparently they arrested some old guy or something like that.
They arrested 2 people, but then they let him go. And the first old guy they arrested, I think they like threw some charges of like impeding like the police, something like that, obstructing justice or some shit like that.
Yeah.
And now it's come to find out he got charges for having a CP on his I think phone or whatever.
Oh, what the hell? That's crazy. That's crazy. No, well, obviously, you know, he was, I think I can confidently say this, a scummy person. You know?
Charlie Kirk?
Charlie Kirk.
I mean, I wouldn't say all that, but I mean, he did say some things that
he did say some.
Not a lot of people agree with. You know what I mean?
There's some things that I
some of his beliefs are kind of weird and also something like that.
Yeah, some things I definitely don't agree with, and you know, I feel like, you know, maybe I'm far off, but I you know, from what I've heard, he was a scummy person, and you know, regardless of any of that, obviously, no one deserves to die. So, you know, it's
I agree with that. I agree with that.
See,
no one should be killed for their beliefs.
Exactly. Like, I'm not gonna name any specific names, but you know.
I mean, the crazy part was that some people were celebrating his death. Yeah,
dude. Literally, I'm not gonna name any names, but you know, I did have some text messages with certain, you know, people, and some people were cracking jokes. Some people were actually finding it super funny. They were showing. I saw an edit of him getting shot, and then they put like the sniper rifle from Fortnite. Yeah.
I know some people. I know some of the jokes were like too soon. Some of the jokes were like way too soon.
Way too soon. You know, as scummy of a person he was, no one deserves that, you know, and he had kids too, no?
Yeah, kids and a wife, you know. I honestly feel more bad for them, honestly.
Oh yeah, definitely.
I feel bad for them because he lost their husband and their father, you know.
Yeah, dude, it's a shitty situation, the whole thing. You know, rest in peace, Charlie Kirk. It's
RIP, and I'm praying for his wife and his 2 children.
Yeah, no, dude. When I saw some clips of like his fans, friends, you know, other, you know, political, topical people, whatever, and you know, they were actually heartbroken. Some of them were like crying. Some of them were like, you know, because he's a real fucking person. You know what I mean? It's painful to see that, and you know, I don't know. Maybe it's the fact that I saw the clip, but it just really put me in a perspective of like, holy shit. Like a whole ass person died, you know what I mean?
Yeah, I see what you mean.
Like, one thing that kept coming to mind was like, bro, he was supposed to go home after that. He was, you know, he had the intention, he had plans, he had, you know, and it just like this. Obviously, he didn't intend to die that day, you know what I mean? It just I kept replaying in my mind just like his perspective. Like, that's why it hurt. I feel like it really affected me. Like, whoa, like, you know. I don't know, maybe it's the fact that I saw the clip, but yeah, it's a fuck situation. The whole thing. But yeah, that's pretty much all I gotta say.
Yeah, good. Like you said, it's just a sad situation. You know, like I said before, I don't think nobody should get killed just because of their beliefs. You know, if you don't agree with them, you could always unfollow them, block them. You don't gotta hear what they say. But to kill somebody because of that, I think it's just kind of
crazy.
It's crazy. It's just inhumane. Because you know, again, we're in America, freedom of speech. It should not be happening in this country. You know.
Literally. Couldn't have said that better myself, but yeah. All right, so that's going to conclude today's episode of the One Couch Podcast, episode 5. We're breezing through these episodes. Let me know what you thought of the boy Poncho and if I should have him back. But thank you guys for joining us today. Have a good one.